Now, me and Bande Anālayo, we have some series of talks together, and this is very exciting.
I'm very happy to be here for this event together with Mingyur Rinpoche. I think this is really the kind of dialogue between traditions at the present time in this world is so important. Growing degrees of violence, and with climate change, it's going to get much worse. So we really need this opening of doors, building bridges, networking between the different traditions. I think this is really important.
These talks are focused on the early teaching of Buddha. The purpose of this teaching is what we call to free the kleshas and the suffering to benefit for others. So when we free that, then we will achieve the nirvana. So that is the main purpose of all these teachings.
So what's going to happen, just to give you a brief outline, we had this initial meeting online that you have as an introduction for the whole course, in which Rinpoche and myself already discussed a little bit and gave some general ideas of our traditions. And so what's happening now, we have these 6 sessions, and we're going to alternate. Each time one of us is going to give a talk with some guided meditation, then the other's going to come in, we have some exchange. And the emphasis throughout will be very much on the practice. Dharma, understand where they're coming from. The Buddha has passed away, teachings are getting lost, and how are we making sure the teaching continues for future generations? Yeah. So they do all these lists, but if you do lists, you have to define.
Yeah.
And if you define, it's black and white, yeah. Yes and no. There's no in-between room.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they miss the show.
Yep. What we call 4 boxes. Yes. No.
Okay, tetralema.
Maybe both.
Maybe both, maybe neither.
Maybe neither. And beyond that, how you can think, how we can,
yeah.
Impossible, you know.
Yeah.
And most of the time, we stuck in the first 2.
Yeah.
Permanent or not impermanent? Permanent or impermanent?
Yeah.
Which one?
When we open our heart and talk about the practice, we really meet at that one point. The one point I said of not clinging. That's where all the practices converge.
In the Mahamudra, men focus about awareness of Dharma, all phenomena, special focus on the emptiness aspect. Mahamudra teaching is men focus on the kind of emptiness, and that emptiness from the experiential perspective.
I am sincerely trying to represent the teachings of early Buddhism. I place a particular importance on joy, on wholesome types of joy. This is a neglected aspect of meditation. It's very important for us to cultivate wholesome forms of joy and happiness, because that keeps us moving on the path, that keeps us interested in the practice.
But actually, it will change. If you feel depressed, soon it will change. If you feel stressed, also it will change. And right now also changing. At that moment now, whatever feeling, sensation, changing. So when we see those things, we begin to develop wisdom. And then we look at the deeper. In the end, loses meaning. All these are losing meaning. You cannot find a single, permanent, independent, anyone or beyond. yet not nothing. There is awareness, there is the recognition of that emptiness, the experience of emptiness, a mere aware, yet not grasping.
And the Buddha confirms to Ananda that he often dwells in emptiness. What that means is that by doing this practice, we're actually walking in the footsteps of the Buddha. It's not about experiences. It's about seeing through experiences. That's the key.
So, by having this discussion, there's a lot of commonalities and there's a uniqueness of the different tradition. But the most important is something which is a benefit for you, your life, and to help you to work with the glacious suffering, and maybe you can benefit for your friends, family, society, to the world.